Hello folks, Junkie Rock 13 here, everything vaping related, Junkie Rock 13. Real name is Ross Sanders, and today I'm bringing you a look at a device sent to me from Hoosier Vapes. They're calling it the China GG. Okay, it is a mechanical telescopic device, and we're going to take a close look at it, see what I think about it. Let's get right to it. Okay, here is a fully disassembled China GG. This is all chrome plated brass, very lightweight, not as heavy as stainless steel, and it is a lot thinner than most of my stainless steel devices. This section right here is the main body tube where your switch will be going in. There are 3 small little vent holes above the switch. Threading on this device is pretty decent. Nicely threaded. Goes together very good. There's threading throughout the whole center of this main tube. And then there is a portion down here that is thinner in diameter, if you can see it right there. And that is the whole switch mechanism and where the switch will be going in. Here's one of the main extension telescopic tubes. Or I should say it is the only telescopic tube. Threading on the outside. No threading on this one. This is a smooth surface on the inside in there. The next one is basically your extension tube. Now these are not the official names of these pieces, it's just what I'm calling it. Okay, there is some threading on the outside right here and threading on the inside. Okay. Now your top section where your atomizer and your 510 connection is a little bit heavier portion than the rest of the tubes. It does have a 510 510 connection with a very large deep well. Now you can fit, let me just grab this device right here. Okay, now you can use devices like the Stardust or the Vision clearomizers here with the 510 connection in there. Okay, there is deep enough where it will make connection there, but if you are a fan of the Kanger T3s, it does not fit in there. And even if you did get it to fit in there, there are no threading on the outside, the Eagle threading there. Okay? And you will notice right here, there are 4 little smooth little slots right here. And that is for devices like your VV Novas that will go flat on here, and it will still allow air movement into the bottom of the connection there. You will notice that the 510 connector is flush with the top of this. So if you are looking for a cleaner look, you will be able to get it with this device if you have the same diameter going on here. Now there is some knurled sections right here all the way around. It does not come apart right there, but there are 3 little vent holes right there. If you notice, they are basically vent holes for your battery gases if there should ever be any leaking or venting. Now your connection right here, I believe it is chrome-plated brass. I am not 100% sure. The insulation right there is maybe like a silicone. Your bottom battery connector has a soldered spring attached to it. Now there have been some new devices that have come out on the market that do not have no spring on here, and it just comes in flush directly with the battery. This one is a very tight spring that will come in contact with your battery, and it is soldered on. Okay, I have not had no issues with it, but that could be an issue in the future. Okay, there's some more vent holes right there in the bottom base, but I do not see where they would vent out. Okay, and here is your little switch mechanism. It is basic little push switch with a little knurled section that attaches to the center tube or the main battery tube by screwing in there, and it has an also little locking ring. Now the one issue that I have been having when I go to lock this is that it does come apart. I don't know if I'm getting it not tight enough onto the device. Let's just try this one more time. See, every time I go to do that, it comes right out. I've actually tightened it up with a wrench and it still does that. But it does have a locking mechanism. I will see if I can get it to work better by the time I publish this video, but I have been having issues with it coming undone. So how this switch will work is when you depress this down and fire it, it will make contact with this section right here on this bottom tube, or this bottom of the connector there. Maybe you can see it better here. So just visualize the battery being in there, and when you want to complete the circuit, you will just, or when you want to fire the device, which will complete the circuit, it will make connection to that center post in there on the bottom connector and make the device fire. Now this is a telescopic mechanical device that can use many different battery configurations. With the tube connected, the extension tube connected to the main tube, you can use 18650 batteries with the help of the other battery extender. Just tighten everything nice and down. And there is the device in the 18650 configuration. Now it is easy as taking back off this section, taking out your battery. If you would like to take an 18490, you could just drop it in there and bring this all the way down. And tighten it all up. And it really looks nice in the 18490. Nice, smooth, no seams. Now to do it, use the 18350, you will have to remove the extender there. Drop in the 18350. And I believe this is the right way to do this. I haven't used the 18350 for a while. And then just tighten it all the way down. So there is the little stealthy 18350 mode. Okay. Let's just take this apart and show you that you can also use it with a kick. With the 18490 or the 18350. Let me just grab my kick. Okay. You will need to use the extender. Okay. Actually, let me just throw a device on here and show you that it is firing. I'm just going to throw on a regular AGA. And you can hear that firing. Well, let me just take off this top so you can see some vapor. Okay. There we go. So you see it is working with the kick. And with the regular AGA on there, it kind of looks like a nice form device, almost the same exact diameter as it going into the AGA. And it's kind of nice with the knurled, it has the same knurling on the AGA. You can notice the difference in material. This is stainless steel and this is chrome plated brass. But for the inexpensive price of both of these units, you can have a pretty decent mechanical Genesis device. Alright, the one thing I will say that you do need to do if you would like to run this device with a kick and an 18650 battery is you will have to get another extender, and they are available at Hoosier Vapes. I'm just going to throw in the 18650, or actually I'm going to throw in the 18490 and bring this all the way down. Because this is the cleanest look of the device that I like. Alright, let's see how this vapes and see what I think about the China GG. Okay, so there is the close-up of the China GG from Hoosier Vapes. You will need paper towels or a buffing rag to clean off the fingerprints on this device. Because of the chrome plated finish, it is a fingerprint magnet. Now I would like to add that in the close-up I was having issues with the locking mechanism on the switch because I could not tighten it down that tight into the battery tube. So what I did do is take a pair of needle nose pliers. Because the little ring on here is a smooth surface, it does not have any flat edges like a nut or bolt. I could not get a regular wrench on there. So I ended up scratching a little bit of the battery tube to tighten it on. But in doing so, I did get it to be in there tight enough that my locking mechanism does work on the switch. All the way up, it will not fire. All the way down, it will fire now. So it does work. You will just need to tighten it on there all the way down. Excuse me. The China GG. I don't like calling it the GG clone. I understand where they're getting the GG clone from because it does have a mechanical switch like the GGTS. You can notice the size difference in the switch. Okay. The GGTS comes with a collector tank. Now I have an Odysseus on here, but it has a vent or an air mechanism that adjusts your airflow. It has a collector tank. It has a lot more features on the GGTS than the GG or the China GG is. Maybe a GG Stealth, because the Stealth has a 510 connector on it. But in the same token, I don't even think of it as a GG Stealth clone. It is just another device made by the Chinese because there was a good design made in Greece, and I understand that. Is it as nice as the GGTS? Not really. I know the GGTS is really expensive. I know this is rather inexpensive. I really had no problems paying the price for the GGTS because of the quality of the device that I got from it. Now I know there's a few people that don't like spending that kind of money on devices, and I understand that. But there's also people that really like them. They're obviously so because they're always sold out. I enjoy my GG devices, and I also enjoy these rather inexpensive devices from China. They almost get used as just as much as my GG, so it really doesn't matter to me. Now, I know there was a few people on the forums talking about the button getting hot. I have experienced none of that. That may be an issue with the connectors. If you take off, let me just loosen this up a little bit. If you take apart your bottom and clean your post right here, maybe with some alcohol or a little steel wool, make sure there's no buildup or anything on there. And if you clean the bottom of the switch here, you can also clean your connector on your top section right there, and also your connector in your 510 connector. I would make sure all of those contact points are clean, steel wool, sandpaper, alcohol, whatever you would like to clean them with, and see if that eliminates the fire button getting hot. I've spoke to a handful of people that have these devices and they've not had that issue, and then a couple people on the forums and a couple people on Facebook have said in using this the button gets really hot. I would also check the device that you're using on top, that you don't have a short in it. If it is a Genesis device or a rebuildable atomizer, make sure it's not shorting out, because that could also cause some heat in the switch. The other thing you can use is the little short stops. I know Vaporizer sells them. I have one I'm going to be reviewing in the next couple days. The short stop, and if there is a short, it will totally cut the connection, and you will not be able to, it won't be able to fire. It will cool off, and then it's just a fuse, an extra protection that you can add to mechanical devices, because there is no protection in these. This device, in my opinion, is a decent device. It's nothing special, but in my opinion, it looks nice with the standard AGA, and it works nice. Let me show you how it vapes. I've had no misfires with the button. No voltage drop. It's working the way it should work. I know there's other telescopic devices that are stainless steel, maybe have a little bit different features, but in just this one, I'm not comparing it to other devices, just this one alone has been working fine for me. I like the features of telescoping and using different battery configurations. I know a few people that like to stack batteries, and in doing so, some people have been stacking like their 18 350s or their 16 340s. And if that's the way you roll, that's fine. That's just not my vaping style. If you are looking for an inexpensive telescopic device made out of chrome plated brass with a solid design, check out the China GG over at Hoosier Vapes. That's all I got. Be kind to one another and keep on vaping, everybody.